Hello, good evening, and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How is everybody tonight? Hope you're all well. Hope you've been having a good week and you're all set for the weekend. So thank you for joining us for another live tabletop gameplay. What game are we playing this evening? We are going to be playing Horizons of Spirit Island from Greater Than Games. I believe this is a relatively new release, and this is a slightly easier to get into version of Spirit Island. That, of course, is an incredibly popular cooperative game. It is always ranked very highly on the BGG charts. So very much looking forward to playing and sharing it with you tonight. Mystical, are you all set and ready to join me tonight? If you need a little bit of time to set up, then I will explain a little bit of the game. Okay, we might be having some technical problems. So let's go to the table. Let's take a look at the game, and hopefully Mystical will be able to join us in a moment. Before I get started though, I suppose I should absolutely talk about this week's coffee sponsor, which of course is from Meeple Coffee. I am trying a wonderful blend which is Explorer's Treasure. I felt that was very appropriate for this particular game. Flavor notes, we have a flavor of dark cocoa, spice and molasses. It's definitely a strong blend, and so I appreciate that. I like my strong coffee. So that's what I am drinking this evening. Whether it will help, we will find out. Okay, so let's go over the gameplay here. I have the board set out for 2 players. Mystical will be playing Devouring Teeth Lurk Underfoot. We'll have her set up here. I am off at the bottom of the board here, and I'm going to be playing Eyes Watch from the Trees. Oh, let me just double check a message here. Hang on. Yep, we're having some technical problems, so I will fill the gap for the time being. So this is a cooperative game. What we are trying to do is to stop the invaders from inhabiting our island. Each of the spirits that we control are asymmetrical, so they do have unique powers. They have unique power progression cards. They each start with a deck of 4, and depending on how you put your presence out on the board, you can either allocate it so that you generate more energy, or you are able then to bring more cards into your hand. Of course, that makes you more powerful, but those cards have potentially a greater energy cost, and so you've got to be able to manage between the 2 there. Each spirit has innate power, which will trigger if certain conditions are met. That is based on the cards that you play during that turn. Ultimately, if you are a player of Spirit Island, then you will understand pretty much how all of this plays out. There are a number of phases. We start with the spirit phase. We then have our quick actions, we have the invader phase, we have our slow actions, and time passes. And every round follows that process. So you'll pick up very, very quickly the flow of the game. That, of course, allows you to plan ahead, to strategize what you're going to do. As I say, it is a cooperative game, so we will be working together on this. There is a solo mode in the game as well, so you can work against the AI there. I haven't tried that aspect. I was playing a game over the weekend, and just as the 2-player, there is a reverse of this map for 3 players. So that is the maximum in this particular set. And again, players of Spirit Island will see the differences, that this is a lower price point than the main game, for the reason being that many of the fear tokens here, the blight, the huts and the villages, and even the invaders, these have all been replaced by counters as opposed to miniatures or wooden pieces. Mystical, are you do you think you're all working and you're ready to join? Possibly. All right, let's try it. Let's bring you on in. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. It's working.
Oh well, kinda. I'm on my phone for it because my computer decided it didn't want to do it, but the stream, like, I can't type to my phone, but I can type to the Twitch on the computer, and
Oh my gosh, it's a technical nightmare, but it's okay. We'll manage.
It was working perfectly fine up until about 15 minutes before stream, and I was like, what is going on?
I know exactly how that feels. Many times, everything has just gone wrong moments before. Okay, but do you feel like you're okay? That we can proceed?
Yeah, let's see how this works.
All right, let's give it a go. I'm going to move this coffee out of the way. We'll just have a quick sip.
Drink all the coffee. All the coffee. We're gonna need it.
We are going to need it tonight. Yeah, nice. This is like really good. I like this, but because, as I say, I like strong coffee, and this is nice. It has that very bitter, as it says, cocoa, chocolate flavour in the back, which is really nice. Okay, so I have set you up. As I say, your devouring teeth lurks underfoot. I am going to be eyes watch from the trees. In essence, you are an offensive character, whereas I am a defensive. As I say, the spirits are asymmetrical, so they do have unique balances of their powers. So you want to lean into the effect of basically doing as much damage as you possibly can, and I will be doing what I can to defend our territories from the invaders, and that's pretty much how we want to play this game. Now,
Yay, violence!
Now, during the setup, it said that you can go on to the number 5 space on one of the lands, and it does not specify which one. And there are 2 5-space lands here. Both of them have blight at this moment in time. Now, I have got to start here. I've got to start in a jungle region with the highest value. But you have a choice. So do you want to start here in this sand area, or do you want to start up there with the jungle?
Was there anything about me being deserty?
Even though it depicts that in the imagery, it doesn't matter. I don't think there's anything that actually relates to the sand areas.
Okay, I'll go up top, so we're kind of like split across the board there.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe that was an idea. Right. So all I think we need to do is there is a final little bit of setup. Just want to make sure I do have everything correct. So we have setup. Just making sure we have the fear deck up at the top here. If we can generate fear. We generate fear from destroying towns and cities. Every time we destroy a town, we bring 1 fear down. Every time we destroy a city, we bring 2 down. Eventually, when this pool is empty, we get to have a fear card. And fear, of course, we are inciting fear within the invaders as they're trying to invade. And of course, this gives us advantages. If we get down to the go through the first 3 cards, it actually changes our win condition. So at this moment, in order for us to win, we have got to clear the island of invaders, of towns, and of cities. If we cause enough fear and we get down to level 2, then all we need to do is make sure that towns and cities have been removed. And if we get down to level 3, then all we need to do is make sure that I think it's just cities. Yes, that's the final thing. Once all the cities are gone, that's it. We win the game. But the flip side to this is that we have the blight. If all the blight goes onto the island and this pool is empty, we automatically lose. If one of our spirits loses all of their tokens, we automatically lose. And I believe there's one other condition. Oh, that's it. If we get to the end of this deck, just in the corner here, and every card has been used, and we haven't met the win condition, we automatically lose. So those are the 3 failure conditions that we've got to be aware of. All right.
Well, and there's one more win condition too, because if we get through the top deck, our fear deck, we automatically win.
That is very true as well. There we go. Oh, I'm glad. All right. So we have our cards. So to finalize the setup, the invaders take the explorer step in the invader phase. So we reveal the top card of the deck. So it is sand. And we place that on the build space. Yep. And we basically do the explore action. So I am going to be referring to the rules pretty much all the time while we play this, because
excellent.
I just want to make sure that we do everything correctly. Then it's just getting that flow. So once we've turned the first in the explore phase, which is effectively partway through the end of a normal round, but we reveal that we add an explorer to lands of the shown type only, venturing forth from towns or cities. So add an explorer to every land of the shown type which contain either one town or city. So then, what do we have? We have sand. We need to put an explorer just there, because that is the only sand area that has a town or a city. And then any sand that is adjacent to a town, a city, or an ocean. So this sand is adjacent to a town. I get an explorer. This sand is adjacent to the ocean. This is an ocean area here. And this sand is adjacent to this city and also this town. So you only ever put one, no matter how many it might meet. Okay, so that is the setup for us. So then, what we do is we're going to start the game. We go into the spirit phase, and there are a number of actions that happen, and everything happens in order. So as we play through, we'll get used to this. So first of all, growth. We choose one of the 3 options. Now, you have up at the top of your player board 3 potential options. Let's just go and take a look. So you have, the first option is you can reclaim cards, and then you can add one of your presence discs to an area on the board. Now it says that it's got to be 0 distance, which means you would have to add that disc on an area of land where you already have a disc. The reclaiming the cards is once you have used cards, when they go into a discard pile. Of course, we're at the start of the game, so that's not happened yet. But that is the growth where you would get your cards back. The next option is gain a power card. So you'll take the top power card from your deck. And because this game is designed to be slightly easier for new players, you actually have a list of cards from a big deck of cards, and it's basically telling you the order of which cards you should have, which are ideal for this particular spirit. So that's what we're doing. We are working through their suggested progression, to which you already know what your cards are going to be and in the order that they come in at. But the difference on this one is that you're able to place down one of your discs at a distance of 1 land away from an existing disc. Okay, so you're able to start spreading out your influence a little bit. The final section is you can place down a presence token at a distance of 2 lands away, and you also gain 3 energy. Now, once you've decided what you're going to be doing there, we then look down at your actual presence chart here, and you're going to be potentially using one of these discs, and you're going to decide whether you're going to take it from the energy track or off the card track. And depending which one, that will also give you a bonus. The energy track will potentially give you more energy to use during the course of your turn. The card track tells you how many cards you are able to play during your turn. And ultimately, once we have determined these elements and you've put down your disc and we know what energy you have, you will then be able to play a number of cards. So, what do you think you want to do?
I think I want to do option 3 to start with.
So you want to gain 3 energy. So we're going to give you 3 energy right away. And you're now able to place one of your discs on the map up to 2 away from your existing disc. But which disc are you going to take? Are you going to take it from the energy track or the card track?
Let me bring this back up. Let's start with the card track.
Okay, so that's now going to mean that you will be able to play 2 cards in your turn. Where do you want to put your disc? You can do it 2 away.
Let's go into the other jungle region that's on the coastal towards the upper left.
You mean this one just here?
Yes.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1, 2 away from your existing disc. All right, that is done. And so then looking, you're going to be able to play 2 cards and you're going to gain 2 energy. So we're going to give you energy. Okay. So you're going to have 5 energy to play with. You have, at this time, 4 cards. I'm just going to place these down here. You already know what your cards are. But for the benefit of viewers, the cards have an energy cost up in the top. Let's just go to that screen. There we go. So we have energy cost of 1 and of 2, and then 1 of and 2. But as you can see, these are circled either red or blue. The red are the fast actions. These are the ones that will be happening straight after the spirit phase. The blue ones are the slow actions, and they happen after the invader phase. So the invaders have opportunity to do things before these slower actions take place. So it's a careful management of, do I want to do something quickly and try and get rid of those invaders before they're able to do something? Or am I going to do something after the invaders and hope that that cleans things up a little bit before the next turn? So while you're thinking about what cards you want to play, I'm going to work out what I'm going to do. And make sure I've got enough room here.
Well, and that might help me decide what I want to do too.
It will, yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, I am going to... I'm going to take one from my energy, and I am going to add my presence. The maximum I can do... I can add one to here. And that's 2 away. So 1, 2. And I can add one where I am. So because I am here, I can add another one, and I'm going to place it on top here. There are certain powers that have more effect when you have a sacred site. And a sacred site is determined by having 2 or more of your presence discs in that land. So because I placed one here, 2 away, and then I've doubled up and put another one on there. And what I've taken my 2 discs from my energy track, which allows me now to gain 2 energy. I was starting with 0. Okay, so I've placed those. Let me see. Now, one of the important things in the game, which I sort of learnt as we've played at the weekend, is you really want to try and destroy a town or a city or the invader all in one go. You don't want to leave anything over, because if you do not destroy it outright, then they do heal themselves for the next turn. Okay, so that is something to keep in mind. You need to make sure you're doing enough points of damage to destroy them. So to be able to kill the invaders, let me just make sure I get this right. Where is it? I think it is... Oh, I'm missing it now. I'm sure it's 1 point of damage for the invader, 2 points for a town,
and 3 for a city.
That's it, yes. Yes, there we go. 1 health, 2 health for the towns, and 3 for the cities. Okay, so you need to make certain that you are delivering equal to or greater than that amount to be able to clear those invaders. Okay, I'm going to place that one just there. I know that's going to be done. And that's it. Actually, I'm just going to play 1 card. Okay, there we go. Which cards are you going to play?
Well, we definitely need to deal with that city there, but what can I do here?
So what's going to happen is, at this moment in time, we've had the invader troops come out in the sand. This sand is going to go to Ravage. When it goes to Ravage, they are going to destroy anything in the areas where they are. The next card is going to get revealed as an Explore, and then that will move to Build. Oh, actually, no, hang on, sorry. What's going to happen is they're going to build in the sand areas in this next turn of this turn we're in. Yes, in that phase.
So, See, because I have a card that'll let me do 4 damage, which would clear out that the coastal sand on the left side.
Yeah. Is it a range of 1 for you? Let's just double check.
It's a range of 0, so I'd have to be in there.
You'd have to be in there, yes.
Which I'm not. So that's not going to work. No. In fact, I don't know that I can. Oh dear, I don't know. Oh no.
Let's just take a look. So you've got your ferocious rampage, but that's a slow action, isn't it? So that's going to be after they may have already done, but they'll have done the build action at that point. Your furious rampage will do 3 damage to explorers and towns only. So it's not the city; it's only the towns.
Well, and the explorer, right? So at least that would get rid of that.
Yes.
So, but I can't do anything with it because I'm not there, and I don't believe that anywhere I am, I can actually attack anyone.
Which, yes.
So that really doesn't help me.
But the thing is, we will do a little bit of a mulligan here. You were able to go up to a distance of 2. And you were starting from this jungle, wasn't you? So if you wanted to reposition, then let's do that. Because we are still learning.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that, because I couldn't see the stream. I'm still trying to figure out our internet's down across the south.
Oh, so wow, okay.
We currently have no internet down here right now. So I'm having to flip between Twitch and the Discord to see my cards.
Oh, goodness me. Okay. So do you want to go and put your disc then? Should we go back into the sand area here?
Let's do that. Let's put me back in the sand.
Let's put you in there. Okay. So at least then you can do some damage. So Furious Rampage, which would allow you to do 3 damage, but unfortunately not to the city, but you can do it to the person.
Yes, I've also because the other thing is I have a fast card, right, that lets me defend if there's 2 invaders, but I think there's only 1, correct?
Yes, because there's only 1. Yes, the invaders are the actual sort of troops. But saying that though, no, actually no, because that's for fear. You get 2 fear if invaders are present.
Oh, okay.
So you generate fear. So again, generating fear is good. We want that.
Okay, and then it has a good defend, and I get to push 2 of the little thingies. So.
Okay. Well, you would get to push. These are for the native inhabitants. Because there's a manipulation of the indigenous population around to help bolster defences. The thing is, they would have to be in that land, and they are not. But it's okay. You would still be defending this land for 9. So that's really, really high. Much, much higher than what they've got, because they've got essentially an attack of 4, the city and the explorer. So that's good. You would generate 2 fear. So terrifying them while they're there. So it's still very, very beneficial. It's going to cost you 2 damage. 2 energy to do that to start off with, which you can afford to do.
So which? Well, because I can only do that one or the Ferocious Rampage, right? Because they're both 2.
Well, yeah, you've got the energy cost to be able to do both of the higher valued cars, and you are able to play 2 cards in this turn. So yes, it's fine.
Okay, so then let's do that. Let's play those.
Right. So we'll take both of the ones away. These are the 2 that you're going to be playing. It's going to cost you 4. Put those there. I said mine was going to cost 1, so that's done. All right, so we basically then do the fast actions first. So you are doing a defense of 9, so we put a little marker in here to know that that is you defending that area. There are 2 invaders present, which means you've generated 2 fear. Okay, so we're already starting to terrify them. Mark territory with scars and teeth. There are no of the native huts in this area. That being the case, we're not dealing with that. So you've done that card, so we'll just tap that to one side. Your second card, we've got to wait for that because that happens in the slow action. But I do mysterious abductions. These are the eyes watching from the trees. So I generate a fear because people are starting to panic. And I do 1 damage. So I basically kill this explorer. They're gone. And I sort of tap my card. So it's been used. All right. So we then move on to the invader phase. If we had a fear card, we would be able to use that right now, but we haven't got to that point just yet. So we then go to Ravage. So we look at the invader card. Is there an invader card on Ravaging? There is not. So thankfully we don't have to deal with that just yet. We then go to build, and there is a card. So build, and I'm gonna, like I say, I'm going to be referring to the rules constantly in this. It's just so I keep the flow going correctly. So look at the invader card in the build space on the board. Build in each land of the shown type that also has invaders. So when invaders build on the land, they add either 1 city or 1 town. If the land has more towns than cities, then add a city. In all other cases, add a town. So we are looking in the sand and basically build in each land of a shown type that also has an invader. So thankfully I killed the invader from here, but this area has an invader, and so we place in a town. This area has an invader, so we place in a town. This area has an invader, put in a town. Okay, that is the build phase. So we then go to explore. We turn over the top card of the deck. And so this is wetlands. So we add an explorer to the lands of the shown type, and we kind of did this before. So any wetlands that contain either a town or a city, we add an invader. 1 goes there, 1 goes there. Any wetlands that are adjacent to a town, a city, or an ocean. Okay. Oh, wrong type. 1 goes there because it's adjacent to these towns, and there's 1 over here. It's adjacent to a town and a city. All right. We advance the cards, so we now know that the invaders are going to ravage all of the sand areas. Okay, they are going to be doing damage there, so we want to be able to do what we can to ensure that we have got enough defense in those areas. All right, and so we've advanced the cards. We now go and do our slow actions. All right, so starting with you, you've got your Furious Rampage. You are doing 1 fear. So we bring a fear down. You can do 3 damage to either 3 damage to
4.
4? Did you say it's 3, isn't it?
Because
Oh, but hang on, but you get it at +1, don't you?
But I have territorial aggression.
Yes, you do. You do. It's
So
damage
I get
dealing.
it's actually 4 damage.
Right. So what are you going to do? Are you going to take out the city, or are you going to take out the explorer and the house?
Is it to either or is it does it deal this out and it'll take out both of them?
Both of them. So essentially, you've got 4 damage to deal out. The explorer takes 1 point of damage. The house will take 2 points of damage, and the city will take 3. But ultimately, you need to.
It doesn't affect the city. It's only to the town.
Yes. Right.
So it takes out the town and the explorer.
So these both go then. Yeah. Yes. There you go. Yep.
Excellent.
So, nicely. Now, because you destroyed a town, you generated some fear. Because you get 1 fear for every town that's destroyed. Okay, so that does your Furious Rampage. So you've used those 2 cards. They will go in your discard. And we'll... No, now hang on a second. Just one thing we need to double check. I think we can do this. Yes, we can. Let's just go to the camera. So along the sides of the cards that you play, there are a number of sort of elemental icons. And every spirit has an innate power that you are able to do at a certain time. So this is the slow time when you're able to do this. You have a range of 1, and you can target invaders of a range of 1. You have 1 fire and 2 claws. So we look at your little table here, and... well, here we go. Once you get 2 fire, you can get up to the 2nd row. But at this moment, you can only do the 1st. So if you don't have any presence in the target land, gather 1 of your presence. So you could actually use this to move 1 of your discs if you wanted. This is a way of you getting to another area quickly.
Is that based off of the cards I had before, or I currently have in front of me?
These are the ones that you've just used. So as soon as you
okay.
Whatever card you play, when you get to this point, you can count up the icons and you can potentially use them. So at this moment in time, you can move 1 of your discs. So if you don't have any in a target land, then you gather 1 of your discs. So, for example, let's just go to the board here. Say this was the disc you're considering, right? Then this is it's 1 away. This is your target land, and you can gather up 1 of your discs. So you could move this disc, or you can move this disc into this area. But I don't know if that would be. I mean, ultimately, the sand is going to be ravaged. And then they are going to build in the wetlands.
I was going to say, would it be good to move my one that's in the jungle up to the wetlands?
So it's either moving up to this one or moving to this one here, isn't it? Because if you can do damage in your next turn, you can prevent them from building.
Yeah.
But the problem is, this area here, it's going to ravage next turn. So you'd want to try and defend this if you could, because otherwise we're going to get a blight in there. So
but I don't have to move that one, right? I can move the other one.
Yes, you can move, yes, exactly. This is the well. Remember, this is going to cause, but you can only move. It's a distance of 1, so you can't actually reach that. But you want to consider...
No, I said into the wetlands that it's right above.
Yeah.
I could move there, right?
Yes, you could move this one into the wetlands. That might actually set you up for your next turn, and then you could place 1 in there. So yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Put that up there.
Let's do that. Let's see how that works.
All right. This is the great thing about the game, is that you're dealing with the problem now, but also anticipating the problem tomorrow. and you're trying to do all of it at the same time. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so you've done your innate power. That's done. I didn't have a slow power, so there's nothing for me to do. So we then go to the final phase, which is time passes, where basically we discard our cards. So I've discarded those. Any damage that had occurred, but there's nothing at this moment in time. This defense token comes back, so you're no longer defending that area. That's it, and we start all over again. Starting with your growth, deciding which of the top 3 you're going to choose. You now only have 2 cards, your 2 1 energy level cards. You have 1 energy available to you. Okay, I'll just say hello to Roga. Welcome, thanks for joining us.
I tried to say hello, but it won't let me type.
Oh, it's so frustrating when things go wrong.
Well, and it's weird because some things are working and some things aren't. So I can't get Stream to work on my computer, but husband has streams working on his.
Right.
And Discord won't work. So
nightmare.
It is a complete nightmare. See this do I want to do the do I want to gain a card? Or do I want I don't know. Because if I do the option 2, I can put a presence up in that sand.
Okay. I am just organizing my
it's one
space
away.
Yes, and you could gain a card as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think that's what we'll do.
Right. But remember, you're only going to you're going to gain 2 energy during the course of this turn, then. So you'll have 3 available to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let me just quickly see. So I want to see if I can do. Now, see, you also have. But these are both going to happen. They're not going to happen soon enough. Your card, Hero, Heard Towards the Lurking Moor, you would generate a fear.
Yeah.
And I've got a card, Eerie Noises and Moving Trees, and I can generate 2 fear, which means we would have all of our fear done. We would get a fear card, but these are both going to happen for the next turn. But ultimately, we want to generate those fear cards, don't we? So, is that something?
I mean, it's better. Yeah, I'm good with that.
So that's going to cost me 2. I will get 2, that's fine. And we're going to use that one as a defensive one, which cost me 0, so I can afford to do that. Okay, so those are my 2 cards. So what do you intend to do then? Are you going to, because you've only got 2, so we're definitely going to do the hero. Oh, I see I'm saying hero, it's Herd. What about this other one? Well, the thing is, actually, you could take your next card, couldn't you? If that's your intention of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can actually take that. Yeah. Let's see what that value is. So this is Devouring Ants. Oh wow. Okay. So again, it's another slow card. You gain a fear. You do 1 damage, but you destroy 1 hut. If there is a hut in that region where you do it. Now the thing is, this is a special card that it only works from a sacred site. In other words, you've got to place your presence marker on top of another one that you already have existing.
Okay.
But also this devouring ants, if the target land is either a jungle or the sand, you do an additional damage. That's quite cool. You could actually take out the town in that sand area if you were to place your disc on top of the wetlands one that's underneath it.
Yeah.
And it would cost you. It would cost you 2.
That's a good plan.
Yeah. Let's move that out of the way. So which track are you going to take from? Are you going to take from your energy, or are you going to take from your card play?
Energy.
Yeah, what a good idea. So I already know this has got to go on top of this wetlands, hasn't it? For you to be able to play that next card. But what this does is it gives you your fire token. Let's just show you.
Well, does it have to go on the wetlands, or does it have to go on the sands one?
No,
because I've got presence in both, right?
You have, but to be able to use that devouring ants, you need to have a sacred space, and it's 1 away. So you have the sacred space, and it's 1 away. You'll be able to do the damage in the sand area.
Excellent.
I mean, effectively, you could also do the damage in the other sand area. So but it's got to have got the placement has got to have been on that section.
Okay.
All right. I am going to. So I need to gain at least 1 energy. Well, I'll get 2 energies. So that's fine. I'm going to place. I can do that 2 away. I'm going to do that and do that. So I'm doing, I get to add 2 presents. So the first one is add a presence 2 away. So, well, in fact, this is just 1 away. So I'm going to put a presence in there. And I will place a presence. Oh, this is tough. So I need to have 2 green. I've got that, yeah.
You may want to put into the wetlands down there, don't you? Because it's gonna slide down, right? And at some point, and we need to deal with that because they're gonna ravage.
Well, true, but the thing is, this sand is going to ravage first, and because it's already got a blight in it, it will then move out. So I want to make sure that this can't do that. I need to take these out, or at least defend this area as much as I can. And what I can, ideally, I've got nothing that will allow me to bring the inhabitants across this area. I can only defend it. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double up in that area. And hopefully what I think is going to work is going to work. Okay, so I've placed those. Energy, I get 2 energy. And you get 2 energy. All right, so we've done that. We've done our growth. We've gained our energy. And we've chosen the cards that we want to play. So we then go to fast actions. Now, both of your cards are slow, so you're going to do these later on. Excuse me. I have a fast action. This is target basically any spirit, so I'm targeting myself. if in one of the target spirits lands, defend for 4. So I'm going to put a defense in there of 4. But we know that the town is 2 and explorer is 1. So I've already got 4 defense. I could, and thankfully this card is 0 energy. I could, if I wanted to, may pay 1 energy to defend up to 8. Now, I don't think we're going to have any issue. I don't think... I've got 4. That's an attack of 3. Nothing's going to move in there. Yes, because Ravage is going to happen before build. So I think we're okay. So I don't need to spend anything. My innate power is Mischief and Sabotage. And all I need is a moon, which I have on my cards. And I need to have 2 leaf. Now I've actually got 3 leaf, but I've only got 1 moon. So I get to add 1 fear. So I can move the fear down. And I get to defend for an additional 2. So this now is an area of 6. Oh, can I do it 1 away? I can do it 1 away. I am going to put that defense of 2 in there instead. Let's see if that works or does anything. Okay, so that's my fast action done. I'm going to discard that over there. I know where my discards are. All right. We go then to the invader phase. We look for fear card. We haven't got one yet, but we're so close. We just need 2 more to come on down. We then go to the Ravage. Okay, so let me just double check and make sure I get this right. So when invaders ravage the land, they deal 1 damage per explorer, 2 per town and 3 per city, all total together. You reduce the total damage by the total of the defense from spirits and fear cards in that land, then simultaneously. So invaders damage the land. If 2 or more damage is dealt, then add 1 blight. Okay, so this area unfortunately is no longer now defended. This is doing a damage of 3 and there's nothing to prevent it. So that is actually going to put blight down. Let me just make sure I got this right. With 2 more damage, add 1 blight from the blight pool, destroying 1 presence from each spirit in that land. So that actually takes away that presence. That deals with that. This area, we got a 2 and a 3, but we know that this is a defense of 4, so everything is fine. That doesn't cause any more blight. Up here, we've got an attack of 3. The natives here, they are able to do... So if it's 2 or more, so add 1 blight. So the blight goes on in there because there's nothing defending. So then the invaders fight they're called the Dahan. Every 2 points of damage destroys 1 Dahan. You must destroy Dahans as efficiently as possible. If a Dahan is dealt 1 damage, flip it to show it's damaged. So this Dahan is destroyed, and this one is partially destroyed. And there's nobody in this area here, so we don't have to deal with it. Then what happens is after the invaders have damaged, any surviving Dahan fight back, and each Dahan deals 2 damage. So what we could do is we can use this one to destroy that town, or the the explorer. What do you think?
isn't the town more dangerous to have on the board than the explorer? Because it might be harder to generate the multiple damage than just one.
Well, here you go. You see, this is how everything sort of links together. So wherever there is an explorer, you get to build. Wherever there is a building, you get to place an explorer in the explore phase. So if there's an explorer, then the build phase will generate buildings. If there is a building, the explore phase will generate more explorers. So there's a little bit of chicken and the egg. Ultimately, you want it all gone, don't you?
Well, I mean, the desert's not going to build.
No.
So if we took out the building, then in the explorer phase, it does nothing.
True.
Because there's already an explorer there, right?
Yes.
So I think that might be the better option.
Take the building, take the town out.
Yeah.
I mean, taking the town out, of course, generates us a fear, so it's beneficial in that regard. Shall we do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so town is gone, and we bring a fear down. They're all terrified. Unfortunately, this is what I should have tried to have done here, or this is what we need to be mindful of, is bringing in the Dahans into areas so that they can fight. But remember, they've got to survive the attack that they are inevitably going to get unless you've defended. So we need to remember that. This is how everything links together. So I think that is everything done. So we go to the build. So we look at our card. These are building in the wetlands. So if there is an invader, so look, invader card, build in each land of the shown type that has invaders. So if the land has more towns than cities, in all of the cases, add a town. So if we added another town here, so this would be a city. Because there will be more towns than cities. We've got a city there. This one is going to be a town. This one is going to be a town. See these pesky invaders, they just multiply. This one is a town. Okay, so there's all the building. We then go to the explore. So we reveal top card. It is the jungle. So we are looking if the jungle contains a town or a city. Nothing, 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 nothing. Wow, that's good. Okay.
That was excellent.
Right. If the jungle is adjacent to a town, a city, or an ocean. Yeah, there's no joy here. So there's one in there.
All
one
of
in
them.
there. Yeah, pretty much. One there. One there. Okay. We then advance the cards. Done. We now go to the slow action. So this is where your cards now come on in play. Good evening, Amberden. Thanks for joining. We're just in the middle of playing Horizons of Spirit Island from Greater Van Games, which is a cooperative invader destruction game, I think it says on the box. Is that what it says? Settler destruction strategy game. There we go. So, you've got the devouring ants and herd towards the lurking moor. What do you want to do first? Because that herd towards the lurking moor, it does one fear, So that's going to generate a fear card. And then you can gather up. It says gather up to one explorer or town to your location, which might be beneficial for the fact of then your next card, if you're doing damage, but you have to have presence there. Unfortunately, you've lost your presence in the sand.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get that bonus now. But remember, maybe drawing this guy in the jungle to the wetlands. The wetlands are going to ravage next turn, but you could actually take out. But the problem is, you're going to do a fear, you'll do one damage, but you would destroy one of the villages, which of course the villages are beneficial to us.
And the reason it was going to work before was because there wasn't one in that area.
Yeah, yeah. What does it say about, do you have to do everything on a card? I did read that you can, if you can't do it, you can skip things. Just double checking. So it does say if one part does not apply or cannot be done, skip it and do the rest.
Hold on, but devouring ants is a range one, so it's if I do that one first, right? I can target the jungle and take out the explorer in there, and I won't destroy anything.
Here we go. Just quickly, it says that you can skip a card's effects if you don't want to do them. If you cannot or do not want to use a power, perhaps the board situation has changed. You are allowed to skip its effects. So you could skip the devouring ants, but you won't get your energy back.
But if I did it first though, and I target the jungle below me, there is no native in there, so I wouldn't destroy anything. But I would damage the explorer.
Yes. Okay. Yes. You could do that. Yeah.
Right, because then the explorer they can't build since they're going to build.
Yes, that's true. Good point. Yes, good call.
So let's do that one first then, and do it that way, so that we target the jungle.
Yep. And in fact, okay. So you're going to, well, here we go. So you can do one fear. So that brings all the fear down. And we get a fear card just in there. These all go back up. So this is the constant flow of fear coming back down. You can do one damage to one away. So yes, you can kill that explorer in the jungle.
Yeah, I think that's the way. And then because there's no natives in there, I don't have it destroying any of them. So that's good.
Yep.
Because if I targeted the other jungle, it would have. But
yes, exactly. Yes. So I
think that was the way to do it.
That goes there. Okay, so herd towards lurking more. So this is bringing, so you would generate a fear. So we'll just do that. Yeah. And then you can gather one town or one explorer to your location.
So if I pull the explorer out of the jungle, the other jungle,
yep,
it can't build.
Exactly. So he goes on in there. Yes. So you're preempting it. Now the only thing is we need to defend this area so that these locals can basically wipe out those. So that's what we're going to have to do in the next turn. We're going to have to use defensive cards where possible to bolster their defenses. Okay. Okay, that's awesome. Yep. So, and let's just quickly look. You do have You have 1 fire, 2 claws. So it's that same ability. You need to get 1 more fire in play. So if you don't have presence in a target land, gather 1 of your presents. So you could split down this sacred site and actually move 1 of them to another area, but whilst you are a sacred site, you're able to do more. So I don't know whether that's beneficial to you here and now.
No, I think it's probably better to take advantage of that in my next turn when I can put out another presence.
Yeah, no, agreed. So you have 1 card left. All right. Okay, it goes over to me. I am doing eerie noises and moving trees. So this is 1 away. I generate 2 fear. So let's get those fear going. And then I can push 2. I can push 2 explorers or 2 towns. Now, so we know it's 1 away. I could push. It's not going to affect. So that's going to do blight in there.
Not if you push it.
Well, I'd have to push all of them out, and I can't push that city. So no matter what, 1 blight is going to go in there. But I could potentially push this town out into here, and that will not do enough damage against the Daham. So I think that might be the best idea. Push this town.
Are you going to push it into the jungle?
Into the actually good call. Yeah, could do, couldn't I?
Because even though they'll be able to but they'll be able to build though. They'd build a city rather than a town.
Yep. But it depends whether have I got something that could wipe out, do 3 points of damage.
Well, see, that's the thing. I have something that I can put on you that what you would deal. Isn't that what my card is? If you take a damage, then you get 3 points.
Yes. Oh, but I've got to be doing a damage thing anyway, so I would have to be doing. I'd have to take my cards back. Oh, that could work. That could work. I could do my mysterious abductions. I could do 1 point of damage, and you could add yours, doing an additional 3 points. We'd have 4 points of damage. Oh. But I've got to be in the location. So that would be 4 points. I effectively, if we pushed this town out from there, pushed it into the sand, I could come into here.
Yep.
You could give me this bonus, and I could take that out because these are both fast powers. We could take all of that out before it even gets to the point. Oh, that's an idea. Shall we do that?
Yeah, I mean, will that work this turn, or is that for next turn?
It's the next turn, but it's before they do their ravage. Because what yours is a fast power, and my one is a fast power.
Yeah, so then then I would do that.
Yeah.
So push the
so we push the
town out, and then
to there. So that's fine. And I can only do it. I want to keep this one in because we want to kill him. So that's going to be 4 points of damage in total. So there you go. So that is that card played. Done. All right. So it goes to time passes. These defensive tokens come back. Everything. Oh yeah, we've already done that. That's fine. We flip that over because that's now repaired. So, and that's the thing, if you do damage to towns or cities and you don't completely take them out, then they become repaired again. So that's why you need to make sure you're doing 100% damage when you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are right back at the spirit phase here. Just a word of note, we are going to be up onto the level 2 explore cards very soon. Elhawk, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for the raid there. We're just in the middle of playing Horizons of Spirit Island. We're trying to muster our defenses somewhat. Okay, so you have just one card of a value of 1. I have one card of a value of 0, but I straight away know that I'm going to do my action that reclaims all of my cards and gains me 1 energy and gains me 1 additional card. Okay, but I get no bonus of energy from my growth, and I don't get to put down one of my presence tokens. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I was thinking of the reclaim cards as well, but I think which would mean taking I could do the gain a power card and a presence 1 space away.
Yeah, because your presence is all located in one area, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. Even though it would be good to reclaim the cards, I really need more presence, especially if I'm going to be dealing damage.
Yep. So you're going to gain a card, and I think you already know your card is Gnawing Root Biters, which is a slow energy, power with 0 energy cost. And then you get to put down one of your presence discs 1 away. So which track are you going to take it from?
Oh goodness. Okay.
Now, if you take it from your presence, you will generate free energy this turn.
Yeah, but if I take it from the cards, I'll have the animal and fire always out, and I won't have to worry about relying on cards for that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'll do the animal because there's no real need for the having 3 energy right this minute. And I think that having the animal might be a better play at this point.
Yes. Yeah. No, good call. Okay, so
oh, my computer's moving again.
where are you going to put your presence disc?
Well, let's see. What do we think? So, the wetlands are going to ravage this round, right?
They are, yes. Remember, if you have discs in an area, if you've not defended it high enough, then you lose your discs. Yeah. You've already felt that once.
That's what I was looking at. And that my slow one wouldn't kick in till after that happens.
Yep.
Okay, so I can only go 1 away, so I've got to go into either, if I'm not going to go into the wetlands, I've got to go into desert or
the jungle. Mm-hmm.
So let's.
I'm looking at my. While you're thinking that, I'm going to see if I've got any defensive cards that I can play on you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. Here we go. I can play a card on you that if you're prepared to spend 1 energy, your defense is 8.
Ooh.
So you could absolutely
I could go
defend.
into the wetland
Yeah.
and defend that.
Yeah. So
Now, but how much energy do I think I only need to spend one energy for my cards,
yes,
isn't it? Or
yeah.
2?
You've got 3 at the moment, and you're going to gain 2 as soon as we give you your power.
Yeah. So,
In fact,
so then let's do that. I'll go into the wetlands, and if you cast that card on me, then I can defend that.
Yeah.
And then my slow one will come in, and I can push the town out and stuff. Yeah, I can push the town out so it can't do that again.
Yes. Okay, we got a bit of a plan forming here. I need to decide what I'm going to do. I think. Oh, I took my cards back, didn't I? So I gained.
Yep.
I gained the 1 energy from that. So that's it. I'm going to gain 2 energy. So that goes there. Okay, so that's a 0 cost. I can play 2 cards. You can play 2 cards. What else can I do to help? So you're going to do a defense there. Can I?
Is your card a fast one or a slow one that you're going to place on me?
It's a fast one, so it's going to happen straight away. So yes, you'll be fine.
Okay, and my fast one will to go on you for your damage.
Oh, it will, won't it? Right,
Yeah.
so I need to be doing a card that does damage. There it is, and that's a fast one, and that costs.
Yeah.
So there you go. That actually tells me which cards I've got to play then. Okay. So we already know you're spending 1, I'm spending 1. That's done. I don't put a token out. You've already put your token out, so that is good. I think we're happy. Right, so we're going into the fast attack here. You are going to play yours. So this adds 3 damage to me. So I'm going to put that just there. We know that that's been played. I will do my mysterious abductions. Just realised I'm not in the... Oh, that's really annoying. I've got to be in the location. Let me just double check to make sure none of these... Oh, typical. Okay. That's not what we wanted. How can I do... Oh, hang on a second. No, because that's... Rats. Yeah, I've got to be actually on the location. There's nothing that would allow me to move stuff. Okay, it just means I'm going to wipe these out. That's all I can do. So I'm doing 4 damage in total. So first of all, it's 1 fear. It's 4 damage. So we're going to take out this explorer. We're going to take out this town, which generates another fear. That does that. I am going to give you now defense of 4, but if you pay 1 energy, you have a defense of 8.
Yes.
So you pay your 1 energy.
Is that what we wanted?
Yeah, because you want to put it in here, don't you? Or do you?
Well, but if you give me if you give me a defense of 4, I should be able to defend against it, no problem, right? Because it is. Oh no, I need 8. No, I need.
Well, this one is 3, 4, 5. That's 6 in this area.
Yeah.
This is a defense, or well, what's going to happen in this one is, oh goodness, they're actually going to. Yeah. There's nothing. Oh, but hang on a second. Hang on. Oh, but I've got to be near you. I'm not near you, am I? Yeah, these are going to do. Yeah, this is going to do an attack of 4, which means Blight is going to go on here. Does it have to be equal or greater? Let's just double check. If 2 or more damage. Yeah, there's no defense on this area, so they're going to do 2 or more damage. So Blight is going to go on here, and then they are going to attack the Dahan.
The things don't defend?
The Dahan will just get wiped out because there's 4 damage. These will both go. So the choice is the choice is either defending this area or defending this area. If you defend this area, the 2 villagers will wipe out everything here, and you won't lose anything. It's unfortunately you're gonna have to be sacrificing that presence. That probably wasn't a great idea, putting that presence there. Now we realise.
Well, I see, and it's frustrating because I can't, of how I've got to switch back and forth, and I can't see everything all at once here. Which is, it's not anything on you; it's the internet. But
yeah, this area, unfortunately, it's one of those things. This is going to fall no matter what. Whereas putting the defense on here, you can actually wipe all of those out. Because you're going to be aiding the Dahan in their attempt, so they won't take any damage, and then they will be able to attack. Yeah,
that's the better idea, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So put the defense on this one.
That's also where my secret place is, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the better. I mean, well, again, because you can't quite see, you placed that disc because it was 1 away from this area. So where is there a better place that disc could have gone?
Well, because we were planning for when my next card comes up, which is I get to push 2 towns.
Yep.
And that, I think that was why we put it there.
But as long as it's 1 away, you could effectively be in the jungle and you could push this town into the mountains.
Oh, I thought I had. Oh, it is range 1, isn't it?
It's range 1, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do that then. I don't have to.
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
That. Yeah. Because. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to put it down to the fact of, technical difficulties, and we're having to sort of, massage sides of the game here to. You guys watching, you'll have had a good idea of how things play, and of course, when you're not having to do it over the internet, you'll have a better experience for sure. Okay.
When you're having to look at this screen that's like a picture-in-picture, it's even tinier as I'm trying to look at my cards and plan out.
Yes. No. I fully appreciate that both yourself and Sarah. It's so much easier when you're sat around the table actually playing these games, but because you're watching it in a screen, and when things go wrong, it does make things so much harder. Okay.
But we got this.
We have. I think we'll be okay. So, but before we do anything. Because that's done our fast actions. We have done both of those. I do have now. I have 2. I got 2 plant. I got 1 moon. So I can generate 1 fear. So I'm just going to generate the fear, and I can do a defense of 2, and it's got to be 1 away. so I can actually put a defense in here. It's one away. I think these guys will survive. That might actually be okay. All right.
Yeah, it should, because you would defend the village against the village. The explorer would do 1 damage, which wouldn't kill the native, so it would just flip back over.
Yeah, and then they can do 2 points of damage, and they can take out the town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, that works out okay. Right. So that it was my innate power, mischief, and sabotage. Now we get to do the invader phase, and for the first time, we get to use a fear card. So,
excellent.
Yeah. Let's go and take a look at what the card is. Here it is. So basically, this is isolation. Each player removes either an explorer or a town from a land where it is the only invader.
Oh.
Okay, so you can do this once. So let's take a look, because we're going to have to work out. So this guy up at the top can disappear. This town can disappear. This town, this invader, this invader.
Oh.
What about the jungles? Because they're going to build, aren't they? If we take them out of those jungles. Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think maybe taking the out of the one that has nothing in it is probably the better idea, because at least we have the 2 natives in the other one, right?
True.
And you.
But the thing is, okay. I mean, there's a good chance that mountains are going to appear at some point. So we're definitely going to take this guy out. So he's gone. But I still think we should get rid of him, because, of course, remember, because he's there, this phase now, he's going to put a town in there.
But I thought we could only do it once. Like,
no,
we could only,
each player. So you do one and I do one.
Yeah, we're taking him out. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right.
So then nothing happens in the jungles.
Nothing's going to happen in the jungle. The build action's not going to have any effect now, because there's no one there, which is great. Okay. So yes, fear has happened. So we go to Ravage. Okay, so let's do this. So invaders damage the land. If 2 or more damage, then we basically get a blight. So there's no defense happening here. There's a blight. There's no defense happening here. There's a blight. This one. This is going to do... Now, let me just double check, because it is defended. So if 2 or more, so actually this is potentially only, because that's a defense of 2, there's only 1 damage happening there, which means no blight. That's good. All right. Up here, this is a damage of 4. And your defense, I was giving you a defense of 4, wasn't I? So...
Yes, you were.
No damage. All right. Cool. Invaders fight the Dahan. So this is 3 points. But it's defended by 2, so it's only 1 point of damage. So that goes like so. Up here, this is 4 points of damage, but 4 defense, so it does nothing. All right. Then the Dahan get their revenge. So they do 2 points of damage right back. So I'm thinking we take out this town to generate a fear.
Yeah.
Yeah? So that town goes, and we get a fear. Up here now, this is 2 points, well, it's 4 points of damage, and there's 4. You can wipe them all out. So we take out the explorers, we take out the town, and that generates another fear, which means we get a fear card. And all of these go back into the pool.
Yay!
So that did work out. Okay, so yes, we've had a bit of blight going on here, but hey, that actually worked. All right. So that's all the fighting done. So we then look at building. And basically, we're looking at jungles. Anywhere that has a jungle, anywhere that has an invader in a jungle, we build. And we know we've emptied all the jungles. No building is happening. Awesome. We then go to explore. And would you know it, explore is the mountains. So, anywhere we have a mountain that has a town or a city. So it's just here. So we got an explorer. Any mountains that are adjacent to a town or a city. Yeah, it's all of them, isn't it?
Yep.
Done. And then we advance the cards. All right, done. So then it goes to slow actions. So you're the one who has the slow actions for this round. You have your gnawing root biters. So you can push 2 towns to a location. That's going to be 1 away.
So what are we thinking? So I've really only got one option, really. I've got to move the wetland one into either the desert or the mountain.
And it's whether... Right, so you'd have to bring your cards back. If you moved that town, could you destroy it?
Well,
it's moving the town into a location where then you can potentially destroy it as well, isn't it? I
mean, if I brought my cards back, that would mean I would have my ferocious rampage again, which that deals 3 damage to a town. So yeah, I could potentially destroy it. And actually, if I move it into the mountain area, although actually no, I wouldn't be able to because I have to have presence in there.
Yes, I think you're going to have to put down your presence. Just looking here, so it's going to do 3 damage to either explorers or towns. So if you put presence in the wetlands.
It'll do 4 damage because of
your plus.
The territorial aggression.
Yep.
So, but I don't have any presence there.
No.
So. Now, so would it be then smart? Would it be then smart to drag it, like to push it into where I already am?
Well, actually, see, and that's the terminology. Push. Push actually means you've got to... In fact, actually, I don't think you can do it. Because push means you're in the location and you're pushing it out of your location. Let me just double check here. Oh no, hang on, no, it does say.
No, but gather up is what brings it to you.
Yeah, no, you can
right?
push. Yeah, gather. Yeah, gather brings to you. Push is pushing it from another location to somewhere else. So you don't actually have to be in the location.
Yeah.
So
but
you could.
if I have to take the pick up my cards and everything, where I'm not going to be able to put out a presence in a different area than I'm not already, then it would be smarter to push a town into a location that I already have presence.
Yeah.
Because then I could defeat it.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so let's... So do we push it into the jungle, or do we push it into...
Well,
you
don't want to push it into...
the other wetland?
Yeah, you don't want to push it into the jungle, because anything that's in a jungle is going to ravage, and at this moment in time, there's no ravaging happening.
So then let's push it into the wetlands.
So it's going to go...
that are right beside it. Though.
Yep, so that one goes into just there. All right. That's all you can do. You do have, of course, the option, because of your 2 cards that you've played, you can move one of your presence tokens to another.
Yeah, which means I should push it down. I forgot I could do that. Because I should push it down to where the explorer is, because...
Yeah.
Well, but then they'd be able to build the city, though.
They would, but it depends. If you're then going to place a token in that area, you could effectively have wiped them out before they get the chance to build. Well,
no, they build this turn, don't they?
No, we're at the end of the turn, so remember, you're going to have the option to be able to take all your cards back.
But it's a slow action, Ferocious Rampage, so...
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, so they would build first, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would. Yes.
Yeah, so I can, as a fast action, I can defend, but I can't attack. Unless you can get in there, because then as a fast 3 on your damage.
My fast actions just gather up my damage. I brought that back. So I only do 1 damage as a fast action.
Yeah, so then I'm just gonna have to put a presence just down. I should probably just put a presence down in the jungle and then move it with one of my with my next turn.
Sure. Okay, so
I think that might be a smart idea. Yeah.
We're keeping it in the mountains.
Yeah. Or no, we're gonna put it in the wetlands.
Sorry.
Right.
Oh right, you're up at the top of the wetlands.
We're gonna put it in the wetlands. Yeah, so that I can actually defeat it.
Yep.
And then they won't build the city.
Okay, so these have been. So you effectively have used all your cards now. So you're gonna have to reclaim in your next turn. Okay, we go to time passes. So this repairs. These tokens come back. And we effectively start another round. We only have 2, 4, 6. There's 7 blight. That is still there. We're kind of like halfway as far as our blight is concerned. All right, so we are on growth and got to decide what we're going to do. I am going to take a card. I'm going to gain an energy. And I am going to... Ooh, tough one. I'm going to take it from my presence there. where am I going to place it? So...
And you've got to put it on one where you already have a presence?
No, I can place it. I can place it up to 3 away. So I could place it somewhere, but I've got nothing that. Well, you see, we've actually got a reprieve from any damage happening because all of the jungle areas are empty. So we've got.
But we do have the mountains that are going to hit us next round.
Yes. And they're going to hit us here quite hard, aren't they? So if we could try and take this out.
Yeah.
This is the better one to take out. So how about... Can I... Right, oh, okay. Okay, let's see if this works. Right, okay. I'm going to place my token in there. And don't need to worry about that. I'm going to play that. Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to play that as well. That would work. And how about... going to play that as well. Oh, hang on. Can I? Yes, I can play. Because I can play... Oh, no, I can only play 2 cards. Okay, actually, there we go. I think I've got something there. And these cards have 0 cost. All right. So I've sorted my cards out. What are you going to do?
Well, I've got to reclaim my cards, right?
Yep. So all your cards are available, and you can add one of your presence discs to one of your existing locations. Which track you're taking it from, energy or card play?
I think let's do card play.
Okay. So this now.
No, let's do card play. Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah, card play.
Yeah. So that gives you a fire active all the time. This might get you onto the next row in your powers. It's got to go effectively on one of these, so it's going to go on here, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, that does that. Just looking at the time, we will actually make this the last round, I think, and we will sort of pause there. So let's see if we can survive, see what damage we can do. Okay, so you've had that. You're going to gain 2 energy. So you've got 5 in total, which you can play 2 cards.
Are you going to attack at all?
No, my cards don't have the attack.
Well, you're not going to deal any damage?
I will not be doing any damage, but I'm hoping that the... it's going to be in the next turn, isn't it? I won't be doing any, but the villagers will be. So, yes.
Okay.
I'm not...
I would have done the given you the plus to the damage if you were.
No, none of my cards actually have the damage terminology on it, so it wouldn't work.
Okay, so I know I want to use Ferocious Rampage. I definitely want to use that.
Ferocious Rampage. There it is. That's going to cost you 2.
And I was trying to see if I could work it to have Devouring Ants kick off at the same time, but that's not going to work. That's
a slow power, isn't it?
Yeah, they would both be slow.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, gnawing root bites might help.
That pushes 2 towns.
But it also would give me the second level of my thing, which is damage for 2. Well, it would be damage 1, but plus 1 for the territorial aggression.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's worthwhile. Yeah, see, that's the thing. So you get to a point now where you play cards because of the bonuses that you might get from your innate power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if ferocious, because if I play, you know what, I might do that, because if I play,
and you've got a range of 1 on it.
Or if I could also play herd towards the lurking mob, because I could bring in that explorer from the wetlands, and because I'm doing Ferocious Rampage and I'm going to do 4 damage, I'd have enough to destroy the town and the explorer in the wetlands or in the desert, either one. If I did the desert, we'd actually clear that out completely.
Yes. Yeah, you're going to generate a fear as well.
Yeah. Which do we think, okay, so let's say I'm going to do those 2. Which would be the better option? Because there's really nowhere else I can really pull them to do that unless... Yeah, no, I think I have to do it that way. Or I can do the fast one, which would be to... No, because that wouldn't matter. So I'll save that one. Yeah, I think I'll do the... Yeah, I was going to defend, and I was like, wait, I don't need to defend. There's nothing that's going to hit us.
Exactly. Yeah, we're fine this turn. Yeah.
So I'm gonna do herd towards the lurking maw then, which will bring someone in. Then I can destroy the 2 of them in the slow action.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. So that's a cost of 3.
Yep.
All right. Mine's a cost of 0. So yours are both slow powers. I have the first one, which is Lure of the Unknown. I can gather one of one person up. So my idea here is I'm going to bring this guy into the jungle. You know, it's like, Core, come over here, So we've lured him into the jungle, which is going to be dangerous for him. Dangerous for him. Okay, that's the only fast action. So then we go to the invader phase. We go to the fear card to start off with. Let's find out what delights we have. This is retreat. Each player may push up to 2 explorers from an inland land.
Oh. Okay.
So you
Okay.
get to do one, I get to do one. And that actually works out quite nicely. I'm thinking I could push this explorer from the wetland, push him into the jungle.
So I was thinking that I could pull I can pull the explorer from the desert or the wetlands, either one, and then pull the other one in with my card, so I can get both of them in and then destroy them both.
Okay, so which one are you going to move?
Let's take the desert one.
And where's he going? Down into the wetlands with you?
Yes.
Yes. So his desert comes into these wetlands just there. Okay. All right. So we then do Ravage. And again, I always go through this. So each explorer does... oh, maybe I miscalculated this. It's 2 or more.
I was wondering why you pulled them. I was wondering why you pulled them in there, but...
Yeah, I've actually realised that the error of my ways, yes, that does generate a blight in there. Okay. Okay. Invaders fight. Every 2 points of damage, they destroy a village. Oh, yeah. I didn't think this bit through completely. That gets destroyed. But then they fight back. This village wipes the 2 of them out. So that was the grand plan. I was being too ambitious.
Yeah, I knew where the plan was going, and I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got something up his sleeve.
Being too ambitious. That's the only one I have to worry about because every other jungle is empty.
Yes.
So, you know, people wandered into the jungle and just got destroyed. But we did suffer for it a little bit. That's the one thing in this game. I've not found anything that allows you to... Oh, actually, there is. There is one thing, only one thing, where you're able to get rid of the blight. But I think it's only 1 card. Like that. So once blight is on the board, it's very, very difficult to get rid of it. But you can survive a fair amount of the game with blight pretty much everywhere. Okay, so that was the Ravage done. We then go to build. And build is, we're looking at the mountains. If there is anybody in a mountain, we put down a town. So...
a city in the bottom one.
Town there. City here. And a town just there. Okay. And then we turn over the explore. Oh, wetlands. Oh. So, wetlands. Is there a town in a wetland? Yeah. So we got one there. Oh my goodness. Yes, one there. Yes, one there. And is there a wetland next door to a one? Yes, one just there. Oh, I see. No sooner did we get rid of them and they're back. Okay. And we then advance the cards. So mountains is going to be awful next turn. But before that, you have your slow powers working for you. So, what are you going to do?
Well, here's what my thing here.
Mm-hmm.
I have, because I can do my little thing during the slow thing, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
You can do that first if you want.
So, and that's what I think, if I've looked at this right, I have the symbols to do the 1 damage.
Well, here we go. Innate powers perform all thresholds reached in order on the same target land. So you, in effect, you have 2 fire. You have... Yeah. Oh, no, I do apologize. You have 3 fire. You have 1 stone. and you have 3 animal. So you can do rows 1, 2, and 3 in order.
Oh, excellent.
So you can do it. You can do a lot.
So here's my thing. My card that I'm going to use, right? It's going to bring in somebody into my area, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if I do that, I'm pretty sure I can survive it by wiping them out between the other card and my powers there. Because my powers would give me 4 damage there, and my card will give me 4 damage. So I'm gonna do 8 damage in an area.
Yes. Yes, because it's all got to be in the same. Certainly, the innate power has all got to happen in the same target land. But remember, your cards. Oh, actually, yes, your cards are 0 range, so you could.
Yeah.
You could take advantage of moving one of your presence discs if you wanted to, and then play your cards.
So, can I split up doing the innate powers and then like a card and then continue on with the powers?
That's a good thing.
Or do I have to do them all at once? Because if I do that, then I have to do the 4 damage in that area, right?
Well, it says that you innate powers perform all thresholds reached in order on the same target land. Doesn't say that you have to do them
all in order.
No.
Or all like at the same time.
Exactly. So you could do the first one, then you could play your cards, and then you could carry on doing the other ones, but they've got to be happening in that original target land, yeah?
So, okay, so hold on here. Little math here. We're going to work this out. If I move one of my pieces into the other wetland.
With the city.
Right?
Yep.
With the city.
Yep.
Right now it's currently at 5, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But if I need 4 in one and 5 in the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm only going to get 4 though, aren't I, in both?
Yeah. Because your card, the Ferocious Rampage, can only do damage against explorers and towns, not the city. But your innate power can do damage against anything. But again, it's a total of 4, isn't it? Because it's your territorial as well. Yeah.
But I could. Oh, but hold on. Oh, okay, but I can still make it work. I can make it work.
You wanna show me?
I think. I can make it so if I pull one of the explorers into the other wetlands and move one of my presents into that wetland, I can completely wipe out the one wetland with the city, and it would just leave one explorer in the other wetland.
Okay, go for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so what are you doing first?
We're gonna move our presence over into that wetland first.
Which one, from the jungle or the wetland?
I think the jungle's got 2, right? Because I want to keep the wetlands as my sacred space.
Okay, so that's moved. Done.
Okay. So now I want to.
You're making that your target area for your innate power, then. Okay, that's fine.
Yes. Now I want to use my herd towards the lurking maw.
Yep. So it gains you 1 fear.
And I want to pull one of those explorers into the other wetlands.
So what from this one going across into that one? Done.
Okay. Then we do Ferocious Rampage, which will give us
another fear.
No. We want to do that on the other one. Sorry. No, we want to do our innate powers in the wetlands by the coast on the right side.
Yep.
So we'll do the innate powers there. So we do the first one is 1 damage plus the territorial aggression, which
Yeah.
is two.
That's 2 damage against the city. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we do the
Another
next one, which is 2 damage.
Yeah, so that basically is another damage against the city and against the guy. So that's 4 damage in total. So that wipes that area out.
Excellent.
And you gain 2
Okay.
fear. Okay.
And then we use,
You're
in the
furious.
other wetland area, we use, for
Right.
the ferocious rampage,
So you gain
which
a fear.
generates a fear,
Yep.
and we get 4 damage to towns and explorers.
Okay.
So 2 damage will take out the town.
Yeah, which gains you a fear.
Yeah, and then 2 damage will take out 2 of the explorers.
It will. There you go. Nicely done. Nicely done. And hopefully in a future turn, the Deham would be able to then take out that final explorer. So
Yeah.
you've cleaned up quite nicely up in that area. Okay.
Yeah, that was a problem area. We worked pretty good with it.
Yeah. Okay, so my final card is Whispered Guidance Through the Night. So I have my guys in the jungle there. It hasn't quite worked out how I wanted, but gather up to 3 of yeah, it's not worked how I wanted now. So I could move him over here. This was going to wipe lots of people out, but of course it didn't quite work out, did it? So never mind. But by playing those cards, what do I have? I have 2 moons. I have 2 of those. And I have 3 of those. So I get a fear and I can defend the 4. Oh, but that's in another thing. So no, I can't do it anyway. So there we go. That would bring us to the end of that particular round. And so we would, of course, reset and start again. But we have run out of time. So, quick catch up then. I know it's been harder than usual for you to be able to play, not being able to see everything clearly on the screen, but hopefully you've got a reasonable grasp of how the game plays. What did you think?
Oh, it was fun. It's a lot of strategy, and so a lot of you have to communicate with the other person and be like, hey, what are you doing? Because I can help you. But it's fun. It's a really good thinking game.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes. I mean, just because of the nature of it being a cooperative game, instantly I thought of Pandemic. I mean, that's the go-to cooperative game for a lot of people, isn't it?
Yes.
But this brings in the element of the sort of asymmetrical spirits that you get to control. Each spirit is different. It adds something, slightly different to each other. And it's finding that right combination of the spirits that sort of complement one another, but also complement your style of play. There is one. So you were very much offensive. I was defensive. But there is one which is very much into the control aspect of moving the Denham around and using them as your offensive weapon. But you're manipulating the pieces on the board more so. There's another spirit that is kind of like your sort of cleric character. It buffs the other spirits up and gives them more abilities during the course of play, but they themselves are relatively weak and can't do much as far as defense or offense. So it's interesting sort of playing games like that, which is something, of course, that Pandemic doesn't really have, does it?
No. And I like the different phases in using like doing these. So you do some of your attacks and stuff before and then some after.
Yeah.
So you can kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna go for this right now. But then after you've done that, you're like, okay, now I can plan where do we to try to like get ahead of.
Yeah. And
whereas with most of the games like this, you kind of have to just go, where do we get ahead of?
Yes, I mean, again, we find it a little bit harder because we're not sat around the table playing together here.
Yeah.
When you in that environment, yes, it's so much easier to plan. And as we were sort of talking about earlier in the game, that you're trying to plan for the future move, but actually you're realizing you're trying to plan for 2 moves ahead, because that's what you can see. And then, of course, you're guessing, well, what the third move might be. and hoping you might have presence in those areas to be able to have some sort of defense or offense when those things arise. I like the fact that... Oh, go on.
Like a lot of it is getting as much fear down as quickly as you can so that you get those spirit cards.
Oh yes, they are very, very helpful. So sometimes playing the cards, not necessarily for their so let's just call it the core abilities, but the fact that they generate fear is a good thing to do. And again, using the cards for the innate powers actually can do a lot. Later on, when you get to the point where you're able to play 4 cards down and you have the energy to be able to do that, and you're playing it for the main powers that you've got, as opposed to what's on the card, which is quite cool. But you
also have to balance. You have to balance where you take your presence from.
Yes.
Whether you take it from your top row, your bottom row. So, and you have to think about okay, right now, what's going to help more? Because that's what's going to affect this right now. It may not be like, oh, well, the energy would be nice, but I don't need that right now. I need the symbol right now.
Yeah. No, agreed. But it's definitely interesting, and it obviously speaks volumes for the game that this is a version. To say it's a cut down version maybe sounds a little bit unfair, but certainly the price point is lower on this version of the game than the initial release. But it's due to the game's popularity. They basically produced a lower cost version where a lot of the counters, as I say, were replaced with cardboard tokens, which are of sturdy quality, comparable to other games that are out there. But it's meant that the price could be brought down quite considerably. So it says that, this is a game that there is a large audience for, that people have been enjoying it. And, it's a good sort of gateway, get on into the game, have a play. If you really, really like it, then, hey, you could go for the big version. But nothing that you've purchased here is wasted, because you can use these spirits in the larger game as well. And a large game just means it's a slightly different map. You've got different spirits, and all of these components are wooden or miniatures in there. So yeah, nice. It's really good.
And they have one where it's tiles, isn't it, versus an actual board?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So yeah. So I think this is a great game. It's
definitely worth playing. Much fun.
It's my sort of replacement cooperative game. I think this is the one that I'm going to be playing. I know that I'm not great at it just yet. I know I need to play a few more times to sort of get to find which character I sort of gel with the most, and then hopefully start winning. I like games.
That's the thing. Even if you find that character that you gel with, doesn't mean it's going to work well with whatever other character that somebody else picks. So it's got to be finding that combination of the 2 characters that work well together to win. Just like in Pandemic, having that medic out is one of the best ones you can do.
Yeah.
So it's finding the combination of that, and whether it's 3 players or 2 players that make it like the perfect sweet spot. So
No, that's fair point. Fair point. Great. All right then. Well, thank you so much for playing. Yeah, I'd like to think that we might have done okay. we were certainly we were getting our momentum going, weren't we?
Yeah, we were figuring out what cards to use together, and that it was good.
Excellent. All right. Well, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Bye bye.
Okay. Bye now. Okay, so there we go. Thanks to Mystical for joining in on tonight's game of Horizons of Spirit Island from Greater Than Games. Also, our thanks to Eclectic Games in Reading, who provided this copy of the game for us to play tonight. If you are in the UK, go and check out Eclectic Games for all your board games, and certainly this one. Definitely worth adding to your collection. We'll be playing more games next week and a little bit of painting in there as well. So join us from 7 o'clock Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see how it goes. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. But until then, bye for now.